Hi, hello there. My name is Kayla and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate it. Today's video is a continuation of my previous video where I tested out the Makeup Revolution X Nightmare Before Christmas collection. However, in my previous video, I was only able to use the Jack palette, and in today's video, I'm going to be using the Sally palette. If you haven't seen my previous video where I test out the Jack palette, I highly recommend you guys go check that out. In my previous video, I also tested out the Nightmare Before Christmas highlighter and the Jack lip gloss, which I do have on my face at the moment. But in today's video, we're only checking out the Sally palette. This palette does retail for $22 and contains 36 shades, just like the Jack palette. However, these shades are definitely more on the pinky orange side with some pops of green in them, and it's just overall more of a warm toned palette compared to the Jack one. So if you'd like to see how to get this look and my thoughts and opinions on the Sally palette, then keep on watching. And before we get into this, I will go ahead and do a few swatches of some of the shades I'm not wearing right now, just to show you guys what they look like. Alright, so here we have the shades Jack, Ghost, Chills, Take a Chance, and Jack-o'-lantern swatched. Okay, so I gotta say the shade Take a Chance, this sort of deep coppery brown color, swatched beautifully. Very creamy. Honestly, probably the best shimmer shade I've swatched in both of the palettes. Surprising. But with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this look. Alright, so as you can tell, I went ahead and did my full face of makeup so we can get right into these eyeshadows. This palette is definitely a lot more pinky toned than the Jack palette that I tried in my previous videos. So I'm really excited to use this. However, there are 36 shades in here and it's kind of all over the place. I mean, we have some really pretty pink tones, but we also have like greens, blacks, and some jewel tones. So I don't know what to do. I don't know. Alright, so the first shade I'm going to take is the shade Trick or Treat. It is this really pretty, like almost sort of dark peachy pink color. It's just on my Wavy Los Angeles L18 brush. And I'm just going to pop this shade in the crease. It's pigmented. Alright, I would say that shade is pretty pigmented. It went on pretty well and I'm happy with it. Alright, the next shade I'm going to take is the shade Vampire Teddy. This really nice sort of dark burnt orange color on a Morphe M456 brush. I'm going to place this right below where I put the shade Trick or Treat. Alright, so that shade was actually pretty pigmented. It went on well. It blended really well with the Trick or Treat shade. I'm pretty impressed. I like the way we are looking so far. Alright, now to just add a little bit of depth to this, I'm going to take the shade Frightful on a MAC 213 brush and place this right on my outer corner. Now I'm just taking my Morphe M456 brush and just lightly blending it out a bit. Okay, so now just so I can try and add more eyeshadows to this look, I am going to go ahead and do a cut crease. For this, I'm just going to be using my P. Louise eyeshadow primer base and my Wavy Los Angeles L17 brush and carve it out. Alright, so now that I have the crease carved out, I'm going to try using some of these shimmer shades. There's this shade in here, Worms Wart, that looks very promising. It looks a little bit sparklier than the other shades in here. So I'm going to take that shade on a Morphe M152 brush. First I'm going to wet the brush and put this on the outer portion of the cut crease I created. Very interesting. Okay, so that shade actually looks really, really nice. I'm pleasantly surprised with it. It was a little bit crumbly, not gonna lie. There was some crumble, but it looks really nice. All right, so the second shade I'm gonna take is the shade Aglow, and I'm gonna put this more towards the inner portion of the cut crease I created, just on the same Morphe M152 brush. Alright, so far I can honestly say I'm pleasantly surprised with how well this look is turning out. Alright, now for the lower lash line, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna take this really cool green shade, the shade Soup, on a Morphe M124 brush and place it all along my lower lash line. And I'm wetting the brush first. Alright, so I think that seafoam green color actually looks pretty nice. I did have a little bit of crumbling going on, but that's okay. Now on the outer portion of my lower lash line, I'm going to take the shade Frog's Breath. Just like really pretty emerald green color. Just on the same Morphe M124 brush. And we'll see how this works. Okay, so I would say that color went on pretty well. I'm not mad at it. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner and eyelashes off camera, come back and show you guys the final look and give you guys my thoughts and opinions on the Sally palette. Alright you guys, so I went ahead and finished my eyeliner and eyelashes off camera. I also put on the wig. I love this wig. So good. So, as far as the Sally palette goes, I gotta say I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the look that I came up with today. This is definitely more of a everyday-ish sort of look. I really enjoyed the colors in here. I feel like they're somewhat cohesive. However, I did have issues with a couple of the shimmer shades. The shade Soup and Frog's Breath were a little crumbly, I guess you could say. Aside from that, I really enjoyed the matte shades, and the shade Wormswort is absolutely beautiful, and I didn't have any issues with the shade Aglow. So, comparing the Jack and the Sally palette, which one do I like better? I really thought I was gonna like the Jack one more. However, I feel like I'm really in love with the Sally one. I really like the colors in here, and I feel like this is something that I could use a lot more in the future. Alright you guys, so that is it for today's video. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. Everything that I have on my face today will be linked in the description box down below, as well as all of my social medias. Let me know if you guys tried out the Nightmare Before Christmas Makeup Revolution palettes. Which one did you like better? Did you like any of them? Did you love them both the same? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.